What a go on, Goodie Gang? Oh man, them stay with me. Them stay with me to the Christmas. For me, you can't believe. Moment, them stay with me. To my Christmas, can you? Oi, let me stop talk. Go on another video. Goodbye. FYI. Let me fix myself to tell y'all. So YouTube had a problem with my last intro. So enjoy the next one. Alright? As you can tell from the title down below, what we're going to be speaking about. How did I decide to get dreadlocks? When did I decide? How did I decide? Honestly, I've always wanted locks. My mom was just the one who was blocking. Check me out. Ever since 10, little old me wanted dreads. Come on. Tell me how my mother's gonna tell me. She said no. You wanna know why? She said that I should wait until I go to middle school to be sure that that's what I want. Why? Just why? Because, oh, what if when you get to middle school you're gonna want, you know, creamed or relaxed hair? What if you want to wear weave? What if there's a certain style that this girl is wearing and you want to follow that style? So I was like, no, I don't. I have locks. I've always wanted it. I just always loved the idea that they come in different shapes, forms, sizes. You can do anything. Like, I always heard people say, girl, you're limited. No, I never saw it like that. I always saw it like, hey, dude, you can express yourself in many different ways than you think with locks. Many. And I always looked at it that way. I always saw it like, yo, that's so cute, like this. Like, and you can do different styles and you come up with them, and then when you see what they come out looking like, they're like, boom, that's so cute. Like, oh, that's you, that's you, girl, that is you. She told me I should wait, and I remember the moment I got into middle school and I looked at all the girls' hair. I literally looked at all of them. I could not find one that I liked other than dreadlocks. I've always just was drawn to dreadlocks. I never knew anything but that. Like, literally, people would say, oh, maybe because there's other people around you that would probably cause you to get dreads or locks. I literally have just one person, which is my grandfather. But that never played a role into why I truly wanted locks. Like, literally, I've always wanted them. Just saw them, and I was just like, I love it. I love how long they can get. I want to get on the Guinness book of how long my dress can get. I literally want to just let it grow and see how far it can go. The mom's like, oh, you might have, like, you know, back problems. It can, we're not going to be pessimistic about this, okay? Because you never know, yeah? Just never know. What if I followed her and just cut them off? And then I would never know if they could get long and I wouldn't have any bad problems. But anyway, I was like, Mom, remember that one time you told me, wait until you get to middle school and then we could talk about this and revisit this conversation? Boo, we here now. What's good? I brought it up to her. I was like, oh, sis, so what's goody? And she was like, oh, cool, you know what? You're right. You know, I'm moving on my words. I'm going to let you get them. Fine. She usually gets her hair done every single 2 weeks by this one person. She was like, oh, yeah, let me call him up. So she calls him up and she's like, oh, yeah, can you help my daughter out? She wants dreadlocks. Blase, blase. We get down there, right? It doesn't end up happening that he ends up doing my hair. He ends up making somebody else do my hair instead of him doing my hair that we originally thought was gonna happen. We get this lady, and she first initially said, oh yeah, when you get locks, you're supposed to start out fat. Like, this lady made my dreads humongous, and I did not like it at all. Whenever they get long, they go smaller or whatever the case may be, because I guess the roots, like at the roots, like, I don't know what she was saying. Alright, cool, so I'm not paying no mind. I didn't know anything about dreads at that time, so I'm just like, alright. So she puts the dreads in my hair, and that was my first set of dreads, right? She puts the dreads in my hair, and they lock up, they form, whatever, but as they're forming and they're growing, they're already locked at this point, right? They got super long, but they were like to right here. I was not satisfied with how they looked at all. After I figured out that I did not like the length that it was and how fat it was, because it was never this like size at all. My first set of dreads was not this at all, not remotely close, okay? I ended up going to New York. Mom, she's funny. There's the holiday break. There's the My mama got a break too. Every kid get a break, she get a break too. So as soon as I couldn't even step out of the school grounds comfortable before I get shipped out of state to my grandmother's, okay? So every single spring break, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all of that, you name it. Just know I'm out on the next plane, okay? This lady wasted no time. She shoot. I remember getting to New York and I'm letting my grandma know the whole situation, the whole rundown. I'm like, sis, I do not like how my hair looks. The girl gonna tell me, the lady gonna tell me, oh yeah, you need to start off big to get small. Where? I'm like, I don't like it. So I ended up just one day, and this is summer, mind you, this is summer break, when all kids my age at that time thinking about going out to the water park, they thinking about going to Six Flags, especially I'm in New York, like, what you doing? I spent my summer, the whole summer, boo, taking out my dress, because I was that dissatisfied. I was not kidding. I really wanted to take them out. So I was that determined. And I was like, Grandma, I'm gonna take them out. I don't want them no more. She's like, how are you gonna take them out? I'm gonna get a comb and I'm going to take them out. She's like, but they're locked. How are you gonna take them out? I'm like, all right, watch me. My grandma, Betsy, Boop, Bop, Pops, Uncle, Boop, he, and cousin, all of them, you name them. I told them all I was going to take my hair out. And check me out, they all did not believe. You're gonna have to chop, you're gonna have to shave your hair off, you're gonna have to, they was just being such pessimistics in my life at that moment, at that time, about my hair. Like, that's rude. That is outright disrespectful. Don't tell me about my hair. I'm just talking out her neck. No, that's not gonna happen. Make sure that did not happen, because I was that set on not cutting a girl hair. That dollar store became my best friend in New York. Them Locs became my best friend. That's probably why I got some them thick thighs now, because I'm telling you, I made them trips. I made them trips. And I get this dollar comb, the tail comb with the little fork at the end of it. I had the hair and I had the little comb, and I sat there and picked at it. Oh my gosh, I tell you, I spent my whole summer. I remember this vividly. Ooh, oh my gosh. Like, you have to have the patience, and I mean the patience and the drive to do that. Like, your whole summer gone out the door. And I got the combs right. I'm literally using the tail comb at the tail, just picking at it. And when that's finished, like, literally, I went through at least 50 combs that summer. I broke 50. Probably more. I'm really probably just lowballing here. I broke a lot of combs that summer. I went through all of that. You know something? All of those hate curves. And let me say that again. Let me stop playing. But my family, my so-called family, my pessimistic people in my corner, in my background, in my little air, just whistling. Oh, you can't. You will have to shave. Where? I did not have to shave. Okay. Believe me, was when I had half of my head full of dreads and the other half like a whole puffball. Why did it take you half of my head to believe me? That just goes to show, dude, anything you want to do in life, go for it. No matter if there's somebody, even your own family will tell you you can't. Yes, you can. I'm telling you, once you say you can, you can. Your mind is your biggest tool. It's your best friend. Make it your best friend, baby. I went back to Florida now. My mom, she knew of me taking out my hair. I already told her I didn't like it, blah, 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 blah. I took it out, but she wasn't really like outright saying like the rest of my family, you can't, like, no. My mom was like, oh yeah, oh cool, blah, blah. What do you want to do with your hair now since there's school right on the corner? Because when I came back, school was the next day. I was like, Mom, I want some bald hairstyle. You gotta hook me up, right? So I did not want to go to the next day. You know how all kids are. We gotta get the freshest shoes, we gotta get the freshest clothes, we gotta get the freshest airline. Just looking like a whole puffball, disco ball on top of my head. And Mom was like, you can't go to school looking like that, boo. And so I was like, Mom, hook me up. You know what she hooked me up with? You guessed it, boy. But the only thing I do not mess with was the whole shaving. I don't touch my hair with no trimmers. And I went to school with the bomb mohawk. My mohawk was so pretty. It was so big. I really wish I had a picture. When I went to school the next day, everybody was like, yo, I love your mohawk. Like, I love your mohawk. Like, I'm like, yo, thanks. It's been a whole year. So summer back again. So instead of me going to my grandma that was in New York, because like I always had that option between grandma in New York and grandma in Jamaica. And mom was like, okay, now you gotta choose again. So I'm like, okay, let me think about this. The first time I went and got dreads, I was over here, right, in Florida. They screwed up. Usually what they're known for, sorry, or say anything rude, they're known for bonks, you know? Mainly bonks. And my mom always taught me that if you gonna go to that's like mainly specialized in ribs, why would you go order a burger? You know what? That's how I see it, you know what I mean? When I actually decided where I was gonna go, I was like, I wanted to go to Jamaica. To grandma this summer. I'm gonna go to grandma's. No questions asked. I'm going to grandma. Out of the plane and getting in grandma's car. I did not drop off my luggage or anything. Did not waste any time, and I went straight to the salon. The way how I learned how to do interlock, I sat there and watched the lady that was doing while she was forming my locks, I was watching her in the mirror. And that's where I so happened to, while I was being bored in class, I'm over here teaching myself, not knowing that I accidentally just formed a lock into my head. And I'm like, yo, look at you. There's always trying everything. You have to try it out to see what works with you. And you know what I mean? Just boom, just explore. You gotta explore your own hair. You can't just follow what everybody else does with their own hair because that's what works with their hair. When I started figuring out how to do my own hair, I continued. I bleached my hair. I interlock my own hair. I palm roll my hair. I barely go to the salon. You know, every now and then I would go. You know, special occasions. That's when I would actually go to the salon. I save a lot of money. You save so much money. I swear. I'm not cheap. I'm just smart. I just don't like spending money foolishly, you know? If you always want a lock, you should go for it. Don't wait. Like, what are you waiting for? Yo, one thing I do have to say. Shout out to Mama Dogs, okay? Lady, you really make me wait. Oh, listen. You know, every single day ever since then, I always wondered how long my hair could be now. Love you. Goodie. And if you want to become part of the Goodie Gang and spill some tea with me, you have to press that subscribe button. Don't forget. Alright, you have to remember. Press the button and that bell too.